Hello everyone, this is my second video of organizing. In this video, I will tell you about organizational structure. Let's move on. So basically, organizational structure can be defined as network of job positions, responsibilities and authority at different levels. इनका कहना है कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर एक नेटवर्क है जॉब पोजीशन का, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ का और अथॉरिटी का, जो कि डिफरेंट लेवल्स पे होता है. डिफरेंट लेवल्स मीन्स द टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट, मिडिल लेवल मैनेजमेंट एंड लोअर लेवल मैनेजमेंट. So what happens when the managers are perform organizing functions, an organizational structure gets created automatically, which clearly defines the job positions, the authority and responsibility of different employees. So what happens that it specifies the relation between people, work and resources. सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर एक सिस्टम है जो आउटलाइन करता है वेरियस एक्टिविटीज़ को, जैसे कि रोल और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़, एक ऐसे ऑर्डर में जिससे कि आपके गोल्स या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स जो भी हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के वो पूरे हो सकें. सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर से बहुत ही मिलता जुलता एक टॉपिक है, वो है स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. सो span of management tells us how many employees or subordinates can be effectively managed by one manager. So span of management हमको ये बताता है कि कितने employees या कितने subordinate एक पर्टिकुलर मैनेजर के थ्रू मैनेज किए जा सकते हैं. See, if I have to take an example of span of management, I will take the best example, that is of your school. See, in your school, your principal manages each and everything. So, under one principal, few coordinators are working, and under one coordinator, few teachers are working, and under one teacher, many students are working. So, ultimately, this became a hierarchy, as students have to report to the teacher and teachers have to report to the coordinator and coordinator have to report to the principal. So it completely became a span of management, and with the span of management there comes a span of control for the managers also. See what happened, that span of management gives the shape to the organizational structure. See, if your span of management is too narrow, then your organizational structure will be tall. And if your span of management will be wide, your organizational structure will be flat. And because of span of management, the authority and responsibility relationship are established in an organizing process, and this will help the managers to keep in mind the span of control also. So after deciding the span of management, a scalar chain is developed of all the superior and subordinate, because span of control clearly specifies who has to report to whom. So basically आपका स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट क्लियरली डिफाइन कर एक स्केलर चेन बना देता है जो क्लियरली बताता है कि किसको किस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन को रिस्पॉन्ड करना है या रिपोर्ट करना है. सो we have some importance of organizational structure also, because if you have an organizational structure, then it will benefit you also. See how it will benefit. It will help to organize properly all the operations of business. It will clear the structure which make it easy to check the responsibility of each part of business also. An organizational structure also gives you a clear idea about the working style of an enterprise also, and it will also allow the correlation and coordination among various resources such as human resource, physical resource, financial resource. And moreover, an organizational structure will clearly define the levels of management and span of control also. So I hope आपको organizational structure and span of management completely clear हो गया होगा. Now we will discuss about types of organizational structure. So we have two types of organizational structure. One is formal and informal, and another is functional and divisional structure. So in this video I will only talk about functional and divisional structure, and in my next video I will talk about formal and informal structure. So as I already told you in my previous video about the organizational structure, that we have functional and divisional. So first of all, our functional structure is what? So when the activities or jobs are grouped keeping in mind the functions or the jobs, then it is called as functional structure. हमारा functional structure तब होता है जब सारी एक्टिविटीज़ या जॉब्स दिमाग में ये रख करके बनाई जाती हैं कि उनको एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप में ही ग्रुप करना है हमको, तो वो हो जाता है हमारा फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर. सी हाउ, if we have all the jobs related to production, such as in production you process, you do quality control, you do repair and maintenance of the particular machines, all these functions are of production and it will be grouped under one department, that is of production. And the particular things related to sales, such as selling of the goods, all these will be grouped under sales department. And the things related to purchase, such as purchase of raw material, purchase inputs, and recording the machinery, record of purchase, all these activities will be related to purchase and it will be recorded in the purchase department, and so on. So by grouping or by departments, it is on the basis of specialized functions only. So basically जब आप इन सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को ग्रुप कर देते हैं तो यहाँ पे आपका फंक्शंस जो हैं वो स्पेशलाइज्ड हो जाते हैं. हाउ? सी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल divide the things into their particular jobs. So if someone is doing production job, so he will be specialized in particular production jobs only. He will not do any other marketing, finance and purchase job. He is particularly specialized in the work of production only. So now I will explain it to you with the help of this chart, that is of functional departmentalization. As I already told you that in finance department you have so many functions such as capital structure, finance planning, and finance planning and capital structure. These are all the functions which are related to finance. The cost of capital calculation, these are all the work of or the activity of the finance, and hence it is particularly grouped under a finance department. See, you have marketing department. So marketing department have activities like advertising, sales, customer services, research. These are all the activities of marketing, and hence it is grouped under the marketing department. So we will talk about some advantages and disadvantages of functional structure. So as I told you that we are specialized in particular one function. So this is the first advantage of functional structure. First is advantage is specialization. So as we know that when activities are grouped according to the type of a function, then all the activities are related to one type only. And so the specialized and professional experts are hired to supervise those activities, which lead to efficiency and specialization. हम लोगों ने सारी एक्टिविटीज़ एक एक ही फंक्शन की एक पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट में ग्रुप्ड कर दी है, जिसकी वजह से स्पेशलाइज्ड और प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्ट्स जो हैं वो हायर किए जाते हैं, जिससे कि उनकी एक्टिविटीज़ को सुपरवाइज़ किया जाए, और इसी वजह से हमारी स्पेशलाइजेशन और एफिशिएंसी हो जाती है. फिर आता है आपका नेक्स्ट एडवांटेज इज़ ईजी सुपरविज़न. ईजी सुपरविज़न कैसे होता है? इट हैपन्स when supervisor becomes familiar with the type of task to be performed, as all the tasks are related to one function only, so he will be able to supervise and guide the employees who are performing those particular activities. So एक particular activity को supervise करना वैसे भी easy होता है. Now our next advantage is easy coordination. So you also know that departments formed in functional structure are interdependent on each other, which means activities of one department depend upon the performance of the other department. See how? Because production department will depend on the purchase department for the raw materials, and one more example, that sales department will depend upon production department for the final outputs, because he have to sell it. So easy coordination happens when each department is interdependent on the other departments of the organization. We have one more advantage of functional structure. It helps in increasing managerial efficiency. So managers of one department are performing same type of function again and again, which makes them specialized and improves their efficiency. And last advantage of functional structure is effective training. So training of the employees become more easy as they have to get trained in limited types of skills only. See, employees of production department are given training only for production techniques. In this way, they become trained effectively. But we have some disadvantages of functional structure also. So disadvantages of functional structure is, first is difficulty in achieving organizational goals. See how? Department become specialized in their own way only. They do not see the prospects of whole organization, and hence organizational goal cannot be achieved. It is very simple. क्यों? क्योंकि हर एक पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट अपने आप में स्पेशलाइज्ड है, तो वो अपने पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट के बारे में सोचता है और ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल के बारे में नहीं सोचता है. एंड दिस इज़ द मेन थिंग. इट लीड्स टू डिफ़िकल्टी इन अचीविंग द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल. Our next disadvantage of functional structure is departmental head's attitude. So what departmental head attitude says, see, departmental head start thinking their department as their functional empire, and this leads to conflict among various departments. It is the same as first one. See, जो भी डिपार्टमेंट का हेड होता है वो सिर्फ अपने एम्पायर या अपने फंक्शनल एम्पायर के बारे में सोचता है, और वो बाकी डिपार्टमेंट्स के बारे में नहीं सोचता है, और इसी की वजह से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होते हैं. तो ये एक आपका डिसएडवांटेज है. फिर आपका आता है नेक्स्ट डिसएडवांटेज, वो है डिफ़िकल्ट टू फिक्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी. सो डिफ़िकल्ट इन फिक्सिंग द अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी मीन्स सिंपली ये होता है कि अगर हमसे कोई गलती हो गई है तो हम किसको रिपोर्ट करना है हमको. सी हाउ इट हैपन्स. सो व्हेन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल इज़ नॉट अचीव्ड, then it becomes very difficult to make any one department accountable for this, because all departments are interrelated, and it is very difficult to find out that which department is going against the organizational goal. See, if we take that one company is making a particular product, and अल्टीमेटली आपका प्रोडक्ट जो है मार्केट में लोग खरीदें, ठीक, और अगर उसकी सक्सेस नहीं हो पाती है तो प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट ये कहेगा कि मेरे प्रोडक्ट में कोई गड़बड़ी नहीं थी, और सेलिंग डिपार्टमेंट ने या मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट ने इसको अच्छे से एडवर्टाइज़ करके सेल नहीं किया है। मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट ये कह सकता है कि हमको पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंस नहीं मिले थे पर्टिकुलर एडवर्टीज़मेंट के लिए। तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि हर कोई एक दूसरे को जिम्मेदार ठहरा रहा है अपने वो गोल को सक्सेस ना होने के लिए, ठीक। नाउ our last disadvantage of functional structure is inflexibility. Inflexibility, it simply says that employees get training of one function only, that is why the department to which they belong, so they cannot be shifted to other departments. So here we are over with this functional structure, and now we will talk about divisional structure. So as we know that when the organization is large in size and is producing more than one type of product, then activities related to one product are grouped under one department. As I have already told you in my previous video that divisional structure तभी होता है जब एक organization बहुत बड़ा हो और वो ढेर सारे products को produce कर रहा हो. See, you have listened the name of Hindustan Unilever Limited. Hindustan Unilever Limited produce many products. They produce soap, they produce shampoo, they produce other medicines also, and they produce eatable items also. So they produce many things. ये एक एग्जाम्पल है डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर का. हिंदुस्तान लीवर लिमिटेड इज़ अ वेरी लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड दे प्रोड्यूस नंबर ऑफ टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स. ओके, नाउ I will going to explain it with the help of the diagram also. See, a particular product such as we take the example of soap. Product A is a soap. A company is producing soap, that is product A. A company is producing cosmetic, that is product B. And the same company is producing product medicine, that is product C. And all the functions of the particular product, suppose the production of the cosmetic, production of cosmetic, the finance related to cosmetic, accounting of the cosmetic, research and development of the cosmetic, and the marketing of the cosmetic, all are lined under a particular manager product B. So I will say that divisional structure is suitable only to multi-product manufacturing large organizations. See, अगर कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ज़्यादा प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है सोप, टेक्सटाइल, मेडिसिन, कॉस्मेटिक्स एक्सेट्रा, तो ये सारी एक्टिविटीज़ जो मेडिसिन से रिलेटेड हैं वो एक मेडिसिन डिपार्टमेंट में आ जाएंगी. सारी एक्टिविटीज़ टेक्सटाइल से जो भी रिलेटेड हैं वो टेक्सटाइल डिपार्टमेंट में आ जाएंगी. जो भी एक्टिविटीज़ कॉस्मेटिक डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड हैं वो कॉस्मेटिक डिपार्टमेंट्स में आ जाएंगी. जो भी एक्टिविटीज़ रिलेटेड हैं सोप से वो सोप डिपार्टमेंट में आ जाएंगी. एवरी एक्टिविटी, see, the production of soap, the purchase of soap, the marketing of soap, and the finance of soap. Now quickly we will move on to the advantages and disadvantages of divisional structure. So divisional structure का पहला एडवांटेज है प्रोडक्ट स्पेशलाइजेशन. एज आई टोल्ड यू, activities related to one type of product are grouped under one department only, which brings integration and coordination in the activities of that particular product. आपने क्या किया है, आपने एक पर्टिकुलर आपके प्रोडक्ट को आपने एक डिपार्टमेंट में ग्रुप कर दिया है तो उसकी सक्सेस जो है वो टोटली उस पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट पे ही डिपेंड करती है. Another advantage is fast decision making. What happens that there is no dependence on the other department for taking decisions and hence it will lead to fast decision making. Our next advantage is accountability. So in this type of structure, the performance of the individual department can easily be assessed and you can hold the department accountable for non-accomplishment of the objectives. See what happens, यहाँ पे आपको कोई भी अकाउंटेबिलिटी किसी और के ऊपर नहीं देनी होती है. अगर आपका पर्टिकुलर गोल या पर्टिकुलर आपका जो पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट है वो अगर आपका सक्सेस आपको नहीं देता है तो आपका ही डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो अकाउंटेबल है उसके लिए और आप किसी और को अकाउंटेबल नहीं कर सकते हैं. अनदर एडवांटेज इज़ फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. यस, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होती है क्योंकि आप डिसीजंस जो है वो जल्दी जल्दी ले पाते हैं. And it also helps in expansion and growth, which is the last advantages of divisional structure. So because new department can be added without disturbing the existing departments. Now what are the disadvantages of divisional structure? See, more resources are required. How? See, every department will require all the resources as every division will be working as an independent unit. यहाँ पे हर डिपार्टमेंट को अपने रिसोर्सेज चाहिए होंगे. every department needs their own resources such as finance, physical. Every department needs their own resources which lead to more resources, and this is one of the disadvantage of divisional structure. Another disadvantage is product focused department. Product focused department says that every department focuses on their particular product only and they fail to keep themselves as a part of one common organization. See, आपका जो हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर लिमिटेड एक बहुत बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है एंड सपोज दे मैन्युफैक्चर अ प्रोडक्ट कॉल्ड लक्स. So they only focus on the success of the Lux only. They only focus to earn the profit from the Lux soap only. They don't focus on the profit of the Hindustan Unilever Limited. They only focus to earn the profit from the Lux soap only. So this is the main disadvantage of divisional structure. Our last disadvantage is conflict. सो बेसिकली कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है क्यों? जब आपके एलोकेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज की बात आती है. आपके पास रिसोर्सेज तो वैसे भी लिमिटेड होते हैं और आपको कौन सा रिसोर्सेज किस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट पे लगाना है वहाँ पे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होते हैं अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स में या अलग अलग पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट के डिपार्टमेंट्स में. सो हेयर आई एम एंडिंग माई वीडियो and I hope you like the video and you get particular explanation of the topics. And if you have any queries, please first of all see it in your books and then read it from there, and if still you don't get the point then please feel free to contact me. Thank you.